We have friends.
Do we?
I mean, I think this is as far as our friends go. This is it.
This is it. Yes, it goes
This-
wrong.
this is
it
it.
goes wrong here. I've got nothing left.
There's
Right.
no circle.
SummerSlam 2025. Overall opinions. Just let me know. We'll start with in fact, night one, overall opinion. Who wants to go first?
I enjoyed night one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it because I thought there was quite a good variety in that one.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I'll come back to that in just a moment when we discuss night two.
Some bits were great, but then I don't know. I felt like there could have been more.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it was as epic as Wade Barrett said on night two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. Night two, I thought was really good. I still had some issues with some matches on night two, but night one just didn't do it for me. And there's one match in particular that I hated. Hate is a strong word. I hated the result because I thought it just wasn't needed. But let's just start top of the card. First match of the night: Roman Reigns, Jey Uso against Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed.
I really like Bron Breakker. I'm not gonna lie, and right. So for me, Bron Breakker, he's got the best of both worlds. He's got the build of his father, but he has the what do you call it? No, well, the agility of Scott, but it's also like his promos, his confidence is
Like
Scott
charisma.
Steiner. Yeah, that's it. It's charisma. You can see that it's Scott Steiner. So he's actually been trained really well because he's a second generation, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah. So like Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, it's yeet. They're great. The only one that I don't really mix with is Bronson Reed.
Yeah, he's the unknown, isn't he? I guess. I completely agree with what you're saying with Bron Breakker. What I also think people don't see is he's hilarious. Like when he gets the chance, when he does like offshore promos, when he does like Steiner math, he is hilarious. Like, he's genuinely really funny. I think he's a future star. He's essentially what the Shield was years ago, where he's there with someone bigger, but he's going to be a future top contender.
Easily.
And I'm going to say something probably controversial here. And you can love it or hate it. I'm happy Jay got his singles title. I still don't see him as a main event single star. I think I really like him. I like what he does. I find him entertaining. I just don't think his in-ring skill set is as good as others.
Yeah, do you know what? As someone who's relatively new to it all, and when I say new, I'd probably describe that more as being reborn, actually, because loved it as a kid in the 90s, and then through my daughter, got back into it, as you lot know. But I would agree with you. I think Jay's got that real likeable factor to him. And when me and Ed started watching him, we were really we bought into him really quickly, and really liked the fact that he won a championship really quickly. We were like buzzing with that, and Ez actually cheered and like went crazy about it. But now I've kind of been into the sport a bit longer now, and the entertainment side of it a little bit longer. I understand things a bit better, and I completely agree with that. I think actually at first when he lost it, I thought, oh, what a waste of time. But then I actually thought, but then again, what more would he have done with it had he retained it for much longer? And I started to pick up on that notion quite quickly. I think it's great because I think he's still like obviously with Roman Reigns and stuff. I thought that was a nice moment, them two coming together. But circling right back to what Nero was saying a second ago, Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker's got it all, hasn't he?
Oh yeah,
he's got everything. So someone like him getting a push in the solos, in the individual field, for me that makes way more sense than Jay.
Yeah, and that goes into obviously the finish of the match with Jay getting the pin from the Uso splash. Right choice to give the win to Reigns and Jay.
I think so. Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to jump in really quick because unless someone else makes this point, but I was going to say it shows the vulnerability between their faction still, and they're not just going to go and steamroll through the WWE.
Yeah, and this was still the point where Seth Rollins was injured, and they were sort of leaderless for a time. So yeah, I
So
agree.
my thought on the whole. What was it? I've just got the thought. So my thought on the whole Jey Uso situation. It's very much a Kofi mania.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted him to win, and he won it. Yeah, great. But then you look at sort of like what his like capabilities are. You know he's great in a tag team. There's not much he can really do for like the solo titles, apart from sort of like if it's a mid card. If it's a mid card title, fair enough. But heavyweight.
Yeah, and it goes back to the whole, like say, Kofi, and I think it'd be the same if Sami Zayn won potentially. I think it's a feel good. He's got by far the best entrance in the business with the whole Yeet thing. I think it's great for the families. Scotty, I see you going. You know, you love it. But in terms of where does he go with the title, and you know, I'm generally pretty good at thinking up stories for WWE kind of thing, but I just don't see anywhere for it to go. I thought Gunther was a better title holder. I think he's probably the most old school heel in the business right now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
It's simplicity, but it's perfected.
Yeah, well, that's what I like. And I was saying this to you obviously the other day, Jay. But even his powerbomb, there's no wasted motion. It's up, bang. You know. And,
yeah, we said that, didn't we?
Yeah, and you know, you go to the last ride, like everyone loves Undertaker. He's one of the greatest of all time, but. You know, the whole lifting them up and there's just a lot of extra motion that isn't needed in that fight, which is what this is essentially meant to be.
What he does, in my opinion, is keep. This is going to sound really ridiculous, but I hope you understand what I mean. He keeps wrestling in wrestling. Like it is wrestling, isn't it? He is doing what wrestling is as a sport, and there's none of this flary stuff. He doesn't lean on a super kick. He doesn't lean on a spear. He doesn't lean on someone else's move. It's just Gunther slamming people down and about.
Do you know what he does that I really like? Keeps the pressure on. He doesn't do this shit to the crowd. There's none of that. He's. You know, I'm in a fight. I've got this guy down. Oh, he's getting up. Guess what? I'm gonna attack him quickly before he gets the upper hand. But anyway, we've got miles off topic.
We always do this.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get back to it. Yeah.
Okay, so match 2 of the night was the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think I'm just saying the win for Jey and Roman just because he was coming back. Just give him that little nudge again.
Yeah, and Bronson has stolen his shoes as well, so. You know. Okay, so match 2 of the night, Women's Tag Team Championship, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. I'm just going to start off the bat and say I think the right team won.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought.
So, my opinion on it, as you well know, the women's tag team has always been a nothing title to me.
Yeah.
Watching this feud going on, I'm actually interested in it now.
Yeah.
I actually have been watching it, and I'm like, actually, yeah, this is, but I'm a big Alexa Bliss fan, all the way, since the beginning. I've always been a fan of Alexa Bliss. Charlotte Flair, I've always felt sort of like, don't get me wrong, she's always earned what she's got, but at the same time, it's a case of, but you're Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah, she had the same Rock and Roman Reigns push, where it was sort of forced onto the fans a little bit.
Basically, Raquel Rodriguez and
Roxanne
Perez. I think that honestly, they work better than Liv Morgan and Raquel.
I think Liv's a better singles competitor than she's a tag team competitor.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say, and this match for me opens up the doors to so many other things. So the match itself, I thought was fairly average. I think the outcome's right, and this is why I think the outcome is right. I think my theory on this, but I think Liv's going to be furious that Raquel and Roxanne have teamed up, and not only teamed up, but now lost her title. So for me, and Liv's going to have this jealousy thing going on with Roxanne. So for me, I think this is going to be the start of the breakdown of the Judgment Day and how it exists. I think Finn Balor and JD will carry on with it, but I think this is an early setup for stuff to break down later on down the line. And I don't think Dom's going to be in the Judgment Day for too much longer. And I think this is a good start for all of this to start happening. That's just my wild punt from my very limited knowledge of everything.
So my thing to that one would it be a case? I don't think it would be JD and Finn. I think it will be Dominic and JD. Because Finn has still got to be in his bonnet about Dominic beating him for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, that's why I think Finn and JD will remain. I think there's going to be some form of ultimatum left at Dom. And I've got a little theory that I think a luchador of some form, I don't know who, but I don't know if Dom's going to be kind of brought back into that side of things. That's my view.
So, I mean, but then that could lead in quite nicely to like Damian Priest, Balor, Rhea.
Well, this is what I was going to say. I think there's an opportunity there to turn Dom face, which has been hinted for a while. The reaction he got at WrestleMania, it was a face reaction. It was a pop.
Yeah, but everyone loves.
He's amazing as a heel. He's amazing as a heel.
Right, I'm going to say it now, and I don't care if you agree with me or not. He reminds me of a young Razor Ramon. He was the heel that everybody loves.
That element, yes. When you say reminds me of a young Razor Ramon, there's nothing. Like, yeah, okay. Reaction wise,
yeah, reaction. He everyone loves Razor Ramon. Everyone still does love Scott Hall because of the Razor Ramon character. He played it so well. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities. I also think looking at the other tag team with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, I think there's a good opportunity there. Whether they'll do it or not, I don't know. But does Alexa get called to the Wyatt Six? Does that cause fractures between her and Charlotte? Is she getting, the whole let me in mental game being played with Uncle Howdy? There's loads of opportunity there. And that's what I'm talking about with Jay and the title, going back to that story. There's so many roads this can go. But with Jay winning the title, I just didn't see it. At that time, there may be an opportunity in the future, but at that time, I just don't think it could have gone anywhere.
I'd be surprised if Alexa... So, again, for the benefit of people who don't know my background in it, very limited, but from where I am right now, I would be surprised if Alexa Bliss did head towards the Wyatt Six, and I think my original theory of some kind of kick-off, if you like, between the Judgment Days more likely, but I don't know if I'm seeing Alexa Bliss going into the Wyatt Six.
I'm saying these are potentially two separate stories, so you could have a
breakdown. No, I agree.
So it could be awesome. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of variety, there's a lot of options, so it's not a case of, Jay's won, I guess he has to lose now because that's the only option. There's, here's the Judgment Day, this could happen, or this could happen, and here's Charlotte and Alexa, this could happen, or this could happen.
So there's avenues to explore there. But absolutely. I agree with what you're saying about the chemistry between Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Obviously, this is like a little bit on from SummerSlam, and I've been watching that grow over the last week or so. And I agree with you, Nero. I think it's actually the chemistry is quite good there. It's actually quite humorous as well. I think it's you see a different side of Alexa Bliss, and I quite like it.
I think it also makes Charlotte.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of Charlotte. I mean, she's always been good in ring. I've never been a fan of the character. But I find her quite, like you say, quite humorous, and I quite like her character, which is a strange feeling. Okay, so we're all agreed on that one. Now I'm already getting mad if I even say it. The next match of the night, Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. I'm going to say it straight away. Karrion should have won that match. It's absolute bullshit. And I'm just going to leave it there.
From what I've read and seen, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, same as you, TimeDrakon. From what I've seen, it should have been Kross.
Easily.
He's doing so well in the back room and the promos.
He's unbelievable. I think he's one of the best on the roster right now. I think he's got the crowd behind him. And if you've not watched it, I'd highly recommend it. He's done a documentary on YouTube, and it is fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He breaks it all down, like his whole story. It's unbelievable. He's got a book as well. He's not sponsoring this or anything. Fucking.
Jay and Drakon won't remember him in TNA like me and you do.
Oh, he was.
But even then, he was underutilized. I honestly, I love his look now. With the long hair and the beard. I think that's the best look he has had, like ever, basically. Because I know him from when he had like the goatee and the bald head, and it was just another baldy wrestler.
Yeah. I've always I loved his work. I love his work. I've always been a fan. But I've never sort of bought into this whole, the top's pushing me down and pushing me away. But there was a moment in the post show, and it was on night 2 where they were doing the panel and they were doing the talk, and the crowd behind them's all chanting, "We want Cross, we want Cross." And Triple H turns around and says, "Oh, you want Brock? You've got him." It's like, whoa, okay, that's the first time I've ever seen that kind of reaction.
Yeah.
But you're clearly trying to bury someone's push. But yeah, look,
he deserves so much fucking more.
Oh, he does. And look, I love Sammy. I was one of the guys rooting for Sammy to get a title. You know, when he was in that bloodline, fighting with Reigns a little bit, I was all for it. I love Sammy. Right now, that win does nothing for him, but it does a lot for carrying. And that's the issue I've got.
I don't know where they were going to go with. Well, they haven't gone anywhere with Sammy either.
No.
Like next week, he's got a match against Rusev.
Yeah. He's becoming the next Miz, and another one of my favourites, and I'm going to say this again, the Miz is massively underutilised. He's one of the best on the mic in the business. But yeah, that's my vent. I'm furious. I'm right now, I'd say the guy I want pushed most is Karrion Kross.
That's if they give him another contract as well, because that's when
His
it run
contract's
out.
due, yeah. So we'll find. They've got to. That's it. They've got to. They don't. Obviously, they do what they want, but it's a massive waste. It's like when they let R-Truth go. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, did they? Didn't they? Was it?
No, they definitely did, because they've done nothing with him since he came back.
Yeah, but because everyone was so furious, it was like, oh.
Yeah, the backlash. Yeah, let's move on from that one, because I was. I'm still. I can't even get into it. Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. Obviously, Tiffany did retain. Right choice?
No.
I skipped it. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
wow.
I've got an opinion on it, but I'm not gonna lie. I skipped the match. I think Tiffany Stratton is really overrated.
Yeah.
Love me or hate me for that opinion, I think she is. Jade Cargill has improved so much since AEW. I actually enjoy watching her wrestle.
Yep.
She still needs some in-ring training, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's still green in areas, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate them for what they do. Like, they're both talented in their own way, but Tiffany Stratton really doesn't do it. Like, just... Yeah.
Jade's got the look as well for me. Like, Jade's got that Rhea Ripley China look, where if you're going to be the part, you've got to look the part for me. And obviously there's elements to that. I'm not one of those guys that thinks that the champion has to be the 6'10" guy who's ripped. My favorite wrestlers are AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy, but I just think you've got to look the part, and there's a lot of it for me that, like you say, Tiffany's talented. She's obviously she was an Olympian or a gymnast or something, but so she's clearly more talented than I am. But I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Not really. Not of a character. Nothing against her as a person.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it needed a swap.
I think
if it's just for 1-2 weeks, it just needed that swap.
Yeah, and that's the general opinion for me in terms of titles. Anyway, I don't like this new age of everyone holds the title for a year at a time. It drives me insane, because when Roman was holding both titles for 3 years, you think back to when there was The Rock and Kurt Angle and Triple H and Undertaker and Kane and Chris Jericho, and every couple of weeks that Steve Austin, obviously the title was. But the title was.
I was waiting.
Yeah.
I forget Steve Austin. Come on.
Sometimes I have more than one thing to say. But yeah, I prefer it when there's a constant. 3 or 4 people in a rivalry and the title's going to rotate. I like that. I'm not a fan of this one person being champion for a long time. Gunther, I think he should. He's my exception. I think him holding the title was brilliant.
Mine's Cody Rhodes. But I'm a huge Cody fan. You all know that I'm a massive Cody Rhodes fan.
I'm a Cody fan, but I'm a heel Cody fan.
The world's not ready for heel
the
Cody.
WWE's not ready for heel Cody, but that's when it happens, that's when I'll be back on board. Okay, let's move on.
Well, hold on before you do move on, because
okay.
So Tiff has been champ ever since I started rewatching this, and when I first started coming back into it, is when she had a bit going on with Nia Jax.
Okay,
and that was however long ago it was, right? But also around the same time, Jade returned during Elimination Chamber, and I remember her slamming Naomi into the cage, slamming the door on her, and I thought, wow, this woman means business. And she was one of the first ones that I really turned my attention to and thought, wow, this women's division is pretty lethal. And then from that stage onwards, we started seeing Vicaire, Julia, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. Like, I started seeing all these girls, and I thought there's a really strong. I actually think in the WWE, the women's division is stronger than the men's at the minute, if I'm completely honest with you, in terms of potential and where it could go. But Tiff's held this title all the way through it, and she's held it for over 200 days now, I think, at time of recording this. But I actually think if Jade had got it, that leaves more into the women's division. Jade seems to be more involved with the whole division than Tiff does. Tiff just kind of struts her stuff around here and there, but no one really seems to want to go at her, really. There's not really... Whereas Jade would have a target on her back because it's Jade Cargill. She's a superstar within the women's roster, in my opinion.
Also, and I'm thinking ahead here, but there's also the potential for battlegrounds where you could have Jade Cargill as champion and Naomi as champion, and they each have a team.
That would be, and that would make sense, wouldn't it?
And Bianca being in the middle.
Exactly, whose team you're going to pick. Each team's got 4 members, who and then they've got a surprise fit for the other team. There's, what I mean? Again, I like to look forward and see where the stories could go. I'm one of those people that likes to try and predict it.
So at the time of recording, Tiffany Stratton has held the title for 218 days.
There you go, that was exactly my point with Jade. If Jade was the champ, there's more that could be done with it.
Oh, absolutely.
But with Tiffy time, as much as I like Tiff because she's a gymnast and can do a round off flick, and I coach them every single week, better than what she does as well, by the way. I still think that Jade Cargill has got. But there's more directions. There's more routes if Jade Cargill was champ rather than Tiffy. Plus, now I don't actually know I have no idea who's going to target her next and the relevance to it.
Well, Nia Jax could come back or something. They'll do something. But also, what I like about, and it's War Games, I was thinking of, sorry, not Battlegrounds, but the potential, if they do have the 2 teams, it also protects the titles.
Yeah.
Which is important, and you can't do that. So, we'll see. But, yeah. Again, I agree, wrong decision. I think Jade should have won. But don't know. We'll see where they go from here with that one. Onto your boy Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre against Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Obviously, Logan Paul and McIntyre emerging victorious. Go on, Jay. What do you want to say?
I was going to say, because as I was getting back into it, Drew was my number 1. I love Drew. I've actually always liked Logan. As a wrestler, from watching it as a WWE fan and put Logan Paul to one side, when I started watching him and watching his athleticism, his ability in the ring, like what he's doing, pushing the boundaries from one jump to another and like increasing that distance ever so slightly each time, for me is just absolute highlight reel. Obviously, I've liked Drew McIntyre and I'm seeing him going through a bit of a stage. I know there's like real frustration with Drew and his titles over the years from redoing my research on it. And for me, bearing in mind you got three people that I love in this match with Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton. I thought, it is put Jelly Roll to one side. I was really looking forward to seeing these lot, and it didn't disappoint. But I do think the outcome was right. I do think Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre needed that win. I think Jelly Roll is loved by the fans, and probably why over there in the US probably loved the fact that he was in there. And fair play to him. I hear he trained really well and really hard for it. But for me, Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre was the right outcome because, one, not only are people going to be gutted that Randy's lost that, but also Jelly Roll, who, like I say, has got that popularity over in the US. But also, it just adds that little bit of more fuel to Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre's belly. And they're now, obviously, time of recording, no spoilers to anyone who hasn't seen the SmackDown, but they both come out with Cena and Cody. So, yeah, I think that makes sense, and it's definitely the right outcome.
Yeah, and I think as well, it makes more sense for the celebrities to lose. And pulling back the kayfabe curtain, I do hear that it was Jelly Roll who pushed for the loss. And I think it makes sense. You've got two professional wrestlers against a wrestler and a celebrity. I know Logan Paul, but it makes sense. And he took.
But he's proven, though, isn't he?
He's
proven now.
He's proven.
Jelly Roll.
And again, I think we're all of a similar opinion. He's based on mistakes as a person in the past, and some of it's bad. As a wrestler, I think he's amazing. I think he's a very talented athlete.
That hurt you to say that.
No, not at all.
I think it would have done weeks ago. I think you've seen what he's done for the business, and I think you can see through that as a true fan of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I've got the same opinion of Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea, I'm not a fan of. I don't like him. Hulk Hogan is an icon, and you've got to separate them. And I do the same thing with Logan. It's the only way I can tolerate him. But I thought he did really well. I thought he kept Jelly Roll safe with that splash under the commentary table. I thought he did really well. He did an RVD turn in that as well, which I was impressed with.
Yeah. I can't fault him.
Nah.
Some of the bumps he takes and some of the bumps he gives, I'm like that. But then when you look at it, he's probably one of the safest workers.
Oh, he's good. He's really, and even the springboard moonsault onto the commentary table. That's a deep. He did a lion salt like 3/4 of the way across the ring. The ring's 20 feet, so it's. When he did that, my first thought was Jericho's got to retire that move.
Yeah,
like it was that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I think it was the right decision. And yeah, I think it does a lot for them because it also, with Jelly Roll losing, it gives him the opportunity to come back.
I do love Jelly Roll though. I thought he did so well.
He did really well. I love a Jelly Roll.
But
The jelly to belly commentary.
Jelly to belly.
Jesus.
But it's when you see a celebrity do it, it goes one of two ways, doesn't it? Let's face it. And here's when the positive way.
Yeah, I think again, it's going to pay me to say this, but I think if you look at the sort of the spectrum, I think it can either go Logan Paul, which is where it goes really well, and I'm trying to think of which celebrity just did terrible. Or let's say Vince McMahon taking a stunner. Let's say it goes Vince McMahon.
Oh, what are we talking about? The recent one with Stone Cold? I say recent, but like the one that was like 3 years ago. And
I can pull out 20 stunners that Vince has taken. I don't think he's ever taken one of them right.
No, I don't think.
That's a separate episode because I want to talk at some point about Austin Theory's stunner cell, Razor Ramon's stunner cell. Santino Marella did a great stunner cell. Obviously, The Rock was the go-to, wasn't he? So, that's something down the line we'll have a look at.
Yeah, I'd put that to one side as well. Bearing in mind, Jelly Roll was in the ring in a match and he done very well. I'm going to talk about a celebrity that I've seen recently who wasn't in a match, who wasn't doing that. Travis Scott just ruined it. Like, what are you doing? And that I think shows that separates. That's the point of that I'm making there is fair play to Jelly Roll for training, getting in there and being able to compete in a match and not mess it up on a PLE when you've got Travis Scott who can't just walk down the aisle and.
What, you mean drinking Red Bull and fucking burning sage?
Yeah, and then actually hurting.
Well, what's he ever done?
Yeah,
and then actually hurting Cody, because he got it wrong. I mean, that to
fairness,
me is just.
What I will say is Cody called him straight after the match and said, he did what Cody told him to do, kind of thing. But he was making promises about, he's got the bug now and he wants to come back, and no one's seen him since. So,
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny was awesome.
Fucking amazing.
Bad Bunny was awesome. Him and the whole Damian Priest saga was awesome. Also, shout out to Bad Bunny and the new Happy Gilmore because I found him hilarious.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, unbelievable, hilarious. Right, on to the main event. So we're going to split this in two, okay? We're going to focus purely on CM Punk and Gunther, and then we'll talk about CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the actual match first. Right decision? Forget the second outcome. Right decision of this match.
Yes.
Yeah. He needs a title.
I'll so laugh if Jay turns around and go, "Nah, I thought it was shit." Considering
With the
his
CM Punk shirt on.
Well, yeah. But ironically, I did enjoy. I did enjoy the match, but I don't agree with the outcome.
Oh, you wanted Gunther to win?
I didn't want Gunther to win, but I just think it made more sense to me for Gunther to win.
Yeah. The issue,
and that's cash in. That's cash in aside.
Yeah. And this is the issue I've got is when if you remember we spoke and I predicted this. I predicted the outcome. I predicted the cash in. I said that this whole Rollins injury was bullshit, just because of the way he landed with the springboard moonsault. It just didn't look legit to me.
Oh, it's Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Yeah. So, main event, but I don't know. I'm torn. I was rooting for CM Punk. The match itself, I thought was okay. What I didn't like was the whole busted nose bullshit. When he fell, he rolled on the table, and then happens to roll under it, and then comes out and he's pouring with blood. And I understand from a story point of view, it made sense because the stone giant has been cracked and he can bleed, and he's vulnerable. But and I've said this to you already, Jay, because I'm going to talk about this more on night 2. But I'm a fan of a chair shot puts somebody to bed. I've always been a fan of it. I hate this whole 20 chair shots, 20 kendo sticks, 10 tables, 50 finishers, and people are kicking out. It ruins it. It ruins the product for me. A finisher's a finisher. How many people kicked out with the tombstone?
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and I think maybe did Triple H kick out a one, maybe. But you're talking one hand.
That was like the special last.
That was like WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And it ruins it for me.
So I mean, fair play to Punk for taking those bloody chops.
Oh God, yeah.
I would not want to be on the receiving end of one of those.
But he gave us what he got.
But that's it. I mean, I think for me, I wanted Punk to win it purely from a nostalgia point of view. Watching it back to what was it, 2006, 2007?
When he was in the feud with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic feud. But it was a little bit like nostalgia seeing him win, so I was quite happy with it. But then, I completely understand where you're coming from with it, Jay. Gunther should have won it realistically because he's the up and comer. He's the new big dog in town.
And for me, and I may be reading too much into this, but I knew Gunther was losing because Jay lost the title so quickly. It was obvious the transition because they don't do face-to-face title swaps very often. So the face has to give it to a heel, then the heel has to give it to a face, kind of thing.
Yeah. That's one of the main things as well. Since I've been watching it, it's gone Gunther, Jay, Gunther, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, right? That title in the space of however long it's been that I've been watching it. Now, I don't care how often it changed hands. I think obviously it shouldn't happen every other week. I'm not suggesting that for 1 second, but I think the main reason I think Gunther should have retained it is because, again, going back to some of the stuff I said all night, is I just think there's more scope on where it could go. And I my opinion when Drew was stitched up with his title when I started watching stuff back when I started to like Drew. It's almost the same feeling there. It's like, I think Rhea tweeted about it and was like, give the man back the title kind of thing. It's like, for me, I just feel like it was a pointless handover. And I think actually had Punk lost it and looked more shattered, it gives him more potential to win it in the future. If Gunther was to retain, let's change the outcome a little bit. Let's pretend Gunther retained it, and then then CM Punk sprawled out on the floor or whatever because he's been choked out. I don't know, just say that hypothetically. And then imagine Rollins comes out, chucks the crutches to one side, but then doesn't cash in and just almost marks his target and then just walks off again. Something like that, I think, would have given more suspense than just a token. Punk's won it. Here's the cash in, and then the title switched hands within 30 seconds. I just think, for me, that would have added more long-term suspense.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think Rhea's comment was on CM Punk. Give CM Punk back the title from Seth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. That's
So-
exactly what I mean. Which that's she was like validating my point. Like, why give it to him? Just take it away with him within seconds. You know?
Yeah, and I understand the logic of it. In the storyline of Seth has always said, "I'll never let you get to the top while I'm here." So I understand. Oh, you've won it. Well, I'm cashing in. You know, I prepared for this to happen. I made sure that I didn't have a match by faking an injury, so I was 100%, and I could cash in on you when you're at 1%. You know, from a story perspective, it makes sense. It's brilliant. Again, because I've been watching for a while, and Nero, I'm sure you're the same. You can kind of see it coming.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of, well, I've not been ruled out. You know, I've not had medical documents. Oh, it's a bit swollen, so they'll have to do an X-ray in 2 weeks. You go, I'm not buying it. But yeah, I thought in terms of CM Punk winning, right decision. Seth winning or cashing in from a story perspective, I think is good. However, I don't see where the story goes from here, because it feels very much like we're having Bloodline 2.0 or 3.0, whatever it is, and it's going to be Seth is going to fight CM Punk and he's going to lose, but he's not going to lose because there's going to be interference, or there's going to be the referee gets knocked out. Some kind of bullshit.
You can see a ref bump coming a mile off, can't you?
You see a ref bump coming, you can see, you know, Braun or Bronson giving him the title. Yeah, exactly. You know, and you know, one thing we've not done and we should probably do is, you know, shout out to Paul Heyman, because he's one of the greatest of all time.
He is the GOAT.
He's incredible. That was awesome. You know, also, you know, bigging up Roman. What's this?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
That bloke knows how to talk in a ring as well.
Yeah, he's always been good at promos, and you know, we'll have to do this at some point, like top 5 promo givers. But the promo he cuts with Cody Rhodes when they both peel back the curtain and they talk about dust, honest to God, in terms of just that really got me. Like it was real, and you know, it sounds stupid to say it felt real, but it was just, yeah, it was unbelievable promo.
I mean, he's been in the business for how long now, and he's been the advocate for how many legends?
Yeah, he doesn't get it wrong.
ECW, come on.
You know, and let's not forget, the first Heyman guy was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's very true. He was poorly dangerously.
Yeah.
I don't know what his next title is going to be after the Oracle. Because I don't know how high you can go after that, other than God.
He's God. He's just the God of wrestling.
Oh, is that his new thing now? The Oracle.
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
Yeah.
He is the Oracle.
The wise man, the Oracle. You know, but
Are
also
they following the Matrix or somewhere? So Paul Heyman's the Oracle. Seth Rollins was the architect.
Yeah.
He's the visionary now.
But also, if you make Heyman God, Seth can go back to being the Messiah.
Monday Night Messiah. Yeah, I've got a T-shirt of that upstairs.
You know, they can go Ghostbusters and make him the Keymaker, or do whatever they want.
The Keymaker, that was also in Matrix as well.
That was
The Keymaster, wasn't it?
He's
Yeah.
a Keymaster and Gatekeeper, or whatever it is.
That's the one. Yeah.
2 goggles, yeah. Oh, that can be Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, can it?
Okay, so just before we go into night 2, then night 1 out of 10. Let's get your ratings, Jay.
Say I enjoyed it. I'm not so sure I meant what I said about the variety and stuff like that. But again, for me, I think this is probably the biggest PLE that I've watched. Obviously, I watched Mania, but I've been more into it this time. I enjoyed it. I thought it was all right. I think a 7. I enjoyed what I saw.
Yeah. Okay, Nero.
I'd probably go for a 7 as well. Just like I liked like certain aspects of it that really worked. Like, you know, the women's tag team, that worked stupidly well, and I really enjoyed it. Some of the matches were great. Some of them were a bit sort of like more to be desired, I would say. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the Sami Zayn one did need a bit more to it. Yeah, I'd probably say it's a solid 7 out of 10.
Drakon.
I'm going to knock that down to a 6.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to say 6 as well.
So we can agree on 6.5.
6.5. 6.5 out of 7. SummerSlam, night 1. 6.5 out of 10.
6.5. Yeah, 6.5. Yeah, sounds fair.
Okay. Night 2, SummerSlam 2025. We'll do the same thing we started with last time. So, did you think it was good overall?
It was better than night one.
A lot better than night one.
Yeah, I enjoyed night one, but night two was fantastic. I think.
Yeah, and it's still. I think this is the first year Summerslam's been 2 nights. If I'm
Yes.
Yeah.
so, it's an odd concept, but I think night 2 would have been the original SummerSlam plan.
My one thing about it though, Cardi B, really?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I skipped that bit. That's just
Yeah, I
me.
didn't see that. But I like how they promoted next year as 2 as well. So they've got it in the bag for.
So it's going to be the biggest show of the summer is going to be 2 nights, and WrestleMania is going to be 2 nights, which I think makes perfect sense.
I can see them doing that a lot with the PLCs.
I think I can see them doing it with the 4 big ones:
So
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, Survivor Series.
But if they do Royal Rumble as 2 nights, does that mean they're going to have 2 Rumbles?
Well, they'd have the men and the women's Rumble on different nights.
Oh yeah,
Which makes more sense in my eyes, instead of trying to have 2 on the same night.
yeah. Actually, does make a lot of sense.
Told you, buddy. I should be writing for WWE. Like I don't know what's going on.
Why not? Fred did. Fred from Scooby Doo did.
Yeah, why not? Indeed.
Oh yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, let's jump into it. The first match of the night: triple threat, women's world champion Naomi, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. Naomi retained. Right decision.
Yes.
Bearing
I
in
think she
mind,
needs to-
bearing in mind this was her first title defense, and she was unlikely to lose.
Yeah.
It's just something about her
Like-
character. I'm glad she won.
Yeah, like I can see why they did it, but I'm not going to say who you think I'm going to say, but I do think Io Sky should have had more of a run.
That's what I think you got to say. To be honest,
I love Rhea Ripley.
Oh, yeah.
She's incredible. She is the new generation China, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, without a doubt.
But Io Sky was always been the underdog, and that's why I enjoy watching her wrestle.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. I think I don't know. I'm torn. My little one, obviously, Jay. We had this conversation a while ago because yours likes Liv and mine likes Rhea, and they were competing at one point. However, I think Naomi retaining made sense if Jade had won. The issue, the issue I have is how Naomi won, which is the most devastating move in wrestling. You know, the roll up, and I just hate it. It was boring.
Yeah.
They had this really amazing segment, you know, and then we're going to finish with a roll up.
But that is the typical heel pin.
It is, and you know, it clearly works because it pissed me off. But
I was going to say, don't get me wrong, the work that Naomi is doing as a heel is
It's good.
really good. 'Cause,
the best she's
Yeah.
been.
I mean, yeah, I've only ever really known her as a face, but as a heel, she's really starting to impress.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
I
agree.
wouldn't put the match as high standard as they did at Evolution, because that was one of the best matches I've seen this year for a women's title. But I did enjoy watching Rhea, Io, and Naomi go for it.
Yeah, I don't have the same knowledge as you lot, and I know you said, Stag, that someone losing their title so early wouldn't have happened in the first title defense and all this kind of stuff. But to me, it was the most least likely outcome. I expected Rhea to win it or Io, but I did not expect Naomi to win it because, like I say, I've got less knowledge of you in terms of it making sense. But so from a fan's point of view, I was a bit like, me and Ez were like, oh my goodness, she's retained. Like, could not believe that. We were like a bit shocked because, you know, as I know limited amount about Naomi, but I know a lot about Rhea, which goes to show how big she is within the WWE. Same with Io. Io's always been someone that I've always watched and thought, wow, she's really talented. She's really good to watch. And it's not that Naomi isn't. It's just she hasn't really been that flashy to me and really stood out. So the fact that she retained, I was a bit like, oh my goodness, I did not expect that. So for me, as a very, I would say, like I say, born again, early fan in the modern world of WWE. I was so pleased I had a surprise element within that first match. And I thought the match was all right. I agree with you what you said, though, TimeDrakon. The previous match was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, it makes sense because they're trying to build her up as I'd say the main women's heel right now. It wouldn't have made sense for her not to retain if they're trying to do that. I'm wondering if they've done a surprise roll up because they're potentially looking to change her finishing move. Because
What is her finisher at the moment?
was it the
I don't know.
was it the big behind thing where she like
Oh, that
Yeah,
where she
yeah.
jumps up in the air, she smashes her ass in your face.
yeah, which isn't a very heel finisher. It's not to be honest, it's a crap finisher. Makes no sense.
Yeah, because outside of Naomi as a heel, who have you got really? Like Nia Jax is on the scene a little bit. You've got the Secret Hervis and Chelsea Green and all that kind of stuff. They're like the biggest like women's heels that jump out to me. So
Yeah,
like you
Liv.
say, I think Naomi, Liv and Roxanne and Raquel, obviously. But you're right in terms of making an impact. Naomi seems to be a bit of a spearhead on that.
I fucking love Chelsea Green. I'm going to say it now. I love that woman to pieces. She's amazing.
Also, Becky Lynch is doing quite good as a heel.
Oh yeah, Becky Lynch. Yeah.
I'm used. Yeah, but the thing is with that, I'm used to her being a heel.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
used to
that's
that
the
side
thing.
of Becky now.
Yeah. And also, we'll get into this a bit later, but the whole her and Seth dynamic is doing my head in. But I digress. I'll tell you what we didn't do last time, which we should do this time. We didn't rate the matches out of 10. So we can do the overall rating for the night, but let's do rating for the matches. So let's do this one first, and I'll go around. We'll do Jay, Nero, TimeDrakon. So let me know your ratings.
Is it out of 10 or out of 5?
Let's do out of 5 for the matches.
Right.
Yeah, 5 ratings. Yeah. I'll give it a 3.5 star.
See, I'd probably say 2.5.
Yeah, let's go 3.
Yeah, I'd have gone 3, but the finish I just thought could have been better, so I'll go 2.5 as well.
Yeah, but that's the thing which knocked it out for me. It caught me off guard.
Yeah,
there you
the
go,
surprise factor, fair enough. But
Yeah,
it's
for me, and where
Yeah.
I am and my level of knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
No,
even.
that's
I
fair
wouldn't even
one.
put it down to knowledge. I'd put it down to it's personal experience. You enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. It is what it is.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to this one's going to take a while. Let's move on to the TLC tag match. Go on.
one thing should have been later in the night.
I think it should have been the semi main event.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, and I'm gonna read these off. Just the Wyatt Six, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Street Profits, DIY, #DX, Fraxium, Andrade, and Rey Fenix.
I think if they'd have put this match into the first night, you'd have pushed the rating up on the first night.
Oh, this
100%
match
agree.
could have been the main event of the first night.
Yeah.
It was
Hands down.
so good. It's.
Ah,
and
like-
Where do you start? There's so much.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you where I'm going to start. I've never been so devastated that 2 people have gone to AEW. Because what would have made that perfect for me is if Edge and Christian were
Yeah.
in the crowd with the Hardys and the Dudley Boys.
Well, this is it. Me and Scott, me and TimeDrakon were talking about this beforehand. Because he said like, "Oh, I'm adding. Why wasn't Edge and Christian there?" It's like because of the AEW contract that they're on, they can't appear.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's easy for the Hardys and the Dudleys because they're part of TNA. TNA are in partnership with WWE, so they can. But I do personally think that AEW should have gone, you know what? It was you guys with the Hardys and the Dudleys that created this, this TLC wonderfulness.
Yeah, and they did
So,
it. They did it when the
be
Click
there.
went into the or DX went into the Hall of Fame. So
yeah.
I understand the contractual implications, but as a fan, it would have been nice. It didn't obviously didn't change the match or the outcome or how amazing it was. It just would have been the cherry on top for me.
Yeah,
just a one night pass saying,
Yeah, it
look,
just would have
we've
been
got
awesome.
this thing coming up at SummerSlam. Can you let them go just to watch?
Yeah, it would have been awesome. And that's all they would have been doing. There'd have been no bullshit. Just sitting in the crowd and just enjoy your work.
Yeah, this is what you built first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It'd have been good if Mick Foley was there. The commissioner of that time who created the tables and ladders and chairs stipulation.
Yeah, it was just that. There's certain things, I always remember the spear, Edge spearing Jeff Hardy, and the way Jeff turns.
That was WrestleMania, wasn't it?
Oh my god, it made us feel sick.
That was TLC 2 WrestleMania.
That was TLC 2.
Yeah, WrestleMania 18, I want to say. Austin, Texas.
18, yeah, it would have been 18.
Yeah, because it was I think it was the last Rock Stone Cold.
That was that 18.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty certain.
I thought 18 was Hogan Rock.
I'm pretty. Oh, here we go.
I can't remember. I know.
Hold the line. Oh shit! Yeah, I was wrong. 17. I was a year out. Sorry, it was a year out.
I wasn't.
I mean, to be fair, it was 24 years ago.
Yeah. Listen, the one spot we've got to talk about is the synchronized tables. That everyone went through the tables. So, and I've got to give credit where it's due, but the Spanish fly through the table was the most devastating. Like, out of those, it was amazing.
Which one?
That was. It was.
We started off with. It was black from DIY.
It was Gargano doing the DDT through the table. Then it was Dexter Lumis did it was like an elbow drop kind of thing.
Yeah, looking at
then Rey Fenix did the splash. And then, was it Axiom or was it?
I think it was Axiom that did the Spanish fly.
It was Axiom.
Axiom did the Spanish fly through the table to, was it Hawkins?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The way he landed with his feet up against the barrier, it just made it look even more devastating. It was unbelievable.
It was Axiom's reaction after that, like when he was out grabbing your back. You think, yeah, you've just done that.
When he was like rolling around,
yeah, he sold it well.
Awesome.
My one thing is, I would have liked to have seen the Motor City Machine Guns do more.
They kind of, out of all the teams involved, I'd say they faded the most.
Yeah.
Because initially Andrade and Rey Fenix were like a bit out of the equation a bit, but then they started going up the ladder and started to put a bit more pressure on.
When they were doing like throwing each other on their shoulders and trying to.
Yeah. That exactly. Yeah, they offered lots in that, didn't they? Yeah, because for me, like it was like almost you had like 3 really well-oiled tag teams in there in the Street Profits, DIY, and the Motor City Machine Guns. Like they're obviously very well-oiled. The reason I'm not saying Fraxium is that's because they're relatively new into the WWE as a tag team, aren't they? Partnership. So obviously they're very good together. They're very, very good together. But like I say, those other 3, I think, are the ones that are. Am I right in thinking they're the most like anchored tag teams out of the ones in there?
Yeah, so the Street Profits have been together a while. DIY, Gargano, and Ciampa have been together since NXT.
Yeah. So like those 3 were like raw tag team, always been around in and around tag teams for me. But I've seen obviously Rey Fenix come into it relatively like new and as an individual. Same with Andrade. I've seen Axiom about a little bit, and I've like Fraser. I mean, you can't. Well, you can miss him because he's so bloody rapid, like the way he moves around and stuff like that. But then you've got the Wyatt Six, who I absolutely love. You know, I love the Wyatt, everything about the Wyatt. It's not just as a tag, but I just love the whole spooky dookiness around them. So, like, I've never really, even in the time where I did used to like wrestling in the 90s onwards, I've never really been into tag teams. But SmackDown have got like an immense tag team roster. Oh, yeah. And I think this match was the perfect show reel for it. And I never used to like tag, and now I do. Now I pay attention to it.
Yeah, I still have that same reaction when I'm playing the WWE game and it's a tag team match. It's still the kind of.
So I'm still trying to get. I'm still trying to get my head around Ray Phoenix and Andrade, but that's purely because of TNA AEW. Ray Phoenix was always with Penta, always from every single moment, and even in was it AAA that they were in together as well?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm still that's still in my head is seeing those two because they're brothers.
They are, but I like the fact they've not forced them together, and I think leaving Penta as a solo competitor makes sense. I think he's in line probably for a title shot, maybe against Dom. And I also think that rather than putting Ray and Penta in a scenario where they have to fight each other, putting Ray in the tag team division with Andrade makes perfect sense.
Yeah, also with Penta and Ray Phoenix, they're both incredibly popular. So the fact that they've pushed them across Raw and SmackDown spreads them over the whole of the WWE. Kind of makes sense to me as well. And if there's ever an opportunity for like a cross-brand moment, then there's good scope there.
Listen, there's we're talking about the tag team division. Even isolating that to just the luchadors in WWE right now is incredible. Shout out El Grande Americano, the greatest luchador in the world. But
whoever he may be.
Don't forget Mr. Iguana.
Oh yes,
Mr. Iguana. And hoping Mr. Iguana got a speedy recovery after he got the old Cobra.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. But in that match, I mean, I should go around with ratings, and I'll tell you my rating and why it's probably not going to be as high as yours. But let's hear them. Same order.
Same order.
Same order.
Who went first?
You.
It was me, was it? Okay. Well, for me, this is one of those where I consider it it was a bit of a classic for me. And again, I did not expect the Wyatt Six to retain. I'd prepared myself for them to not retain. So I was expecting someone else to take the title. So the fact that the Wyatt Six retain, the fact that it's made me enjoy tag teams, and the fact that it's now made me want to watch tag teams a little bit more, I think I'm going to give it. It's not quite a 5-star for me because I think that needs to be something exceptional. A bit. I tell you what, a 5-star to me is. A 5-star is Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels in a ladders match. That to me is a 5-star match that I could watch forever. I could definitely revisit that one, but I'm going to give it a 4-star.
Okay, that's solid. I mean, I would probably say I'd give it a solid 4.5 out of 5, just because of I know that they had outside interference, Candice LeRae and the other one, B-Fab,
and Nikki Cross,
and Nikki Cross,
and Uncle Howdy,
and and Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
But
wow, isn't it?
yeah, but I mean, there was two teams in that match that I have loved from the first moment I ever saw them. The Wyatt Six, because of Bray Wyatt, may he rest in peace, and also the Motor City Machine Guns, because I watched them when they originally started in TNA.
I've said this to you though, like the Motor City Machine Guns, the Motor City Machine Guns 20 years ago should have been.
If they were the ones that were in this match, then there'd be no getting around it. So yeah, I mean the bumps that the bump that Candice LeRae took,
that was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, fair play. Oh wow, okay, fair enough.
And also credit to Gargano for being sensible enough to check on his wife and then making it a part of the whole thing. You're okay. I'm going up the ladder.
Yeah. I always love the table bumps as well. When they're at the top of the ladder, we're going to win, and then they get pushed off and they go through those 4 tables that are outside. Love it. So it's one of my favorite spots, but again, that's from a pure nostalgia point of view, from when it was Matt Hardy and Bubba Ray Dudley.
Yeah.
So yeah, solid 4.5 out of 10 from me.
Okay.
And I will add to that, which the Profits did put into that segment as well. So it was a good shout out to them. I will go for a 4.5 because there's stuff that I've never seen before, i.e. with Candice LeRae going through the ladder. Ciampa missing the kind of grab off from which one, Fraxium, when he jumped off the ladder to grab him, and then he did the Spider-Man crawl up
Oh,
to the
Fraser.
title belt. Yeah, so that was a good one, and then obviously the Spanish fly through the tables.
Yeah,
which was another oh my god moment. So yeah, 4.5 stars for me.
Also, can we actually appreciate the fact that WWE are doing something decent with Dexter Loomis for a change?
I had the same conversation with Jay a few nights ago.
I am so happy that actually getting him to do something that is actually to his capabilities, because he's always been a fantastic wrestler. No one can take that away from him at all, and if they try to, they're wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big Loomis fan. And by the way, this is going to sound crazy because the other one I rated 3.5 and this one a 4. But the only reason I'm giving it a 4, and again, please don't hate on me for saying this, is because although it was incredible and amazing, and I imagine it was incredible to see, in that kind of environment where there's 6 tag teams involved and tables and chairs and God knows what else going around, there's that aspect of choreography which is more obvious to me. And so I think that is the only reason I deducted that 0.5, because it was incredible, but it was that more rehearsed, choreographed, keeping it.
Yeah.
Whereas it wouldn't have been so obvious had it been like a free team tag or a typical tag team. That's the only thing, and that's not a criticism. That's just a rounded view of.
That is just a fact of life.
It's the risk and reward you get for such a match, but incredibly done.
Yeah. So I agree. I agree that the choreography becomes much more obvious when there's more teams involved. I'm also going to give it a 4-star because I expected you to give it higher, to be honest, Jay. But my reason is potentially controversial based on what you've said already. So Candice LeRae being involved, I thought was hilarious. The whole scenario and how Gargano reacted and did all that. I thought the Wyatt Six being involved, the other Wyatt Six, so Nikki Cross, Eric Rowan, and Uncle Howdy, I thought that took away from Dexter and Gacy. I thought it took away from them as a tag team, and it makes them look more vulnerable. They're not having that same invulnerability that the Fiend had, and I'm sure they're not meant to. But for me, it just took something away. So that's why I'm going to give it 4-star.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't want to harp on, but I don't think that match needed interference. I thought the match stood on its own legs. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a near perfect match. There was elements, like you say, choreography and stuff like that was obvious. It always is when there's that many teams involved. But when you bring in outside parties, it just ruins the experience for me. So, solid 4-star.
Yeah, I like the idea of Nikki Cross coming in maybe to be with B-Fab and Candice, but
if they get involved outside of the match and don't actually interfere, then maybe I'd have had a slightly different opinion.
Yeah.
But it's like, and it's completely off topic, and you may not know what I'm talking about. You may, but do you remember when Carmella won the Money in the Bank briefcase because James Ellsworth got the briefcase for her?
Yeah, I do.
Pissed me off to no end. So
yeah,
it was
something like that.
So
James Ellsworth.
Yeah, God. Oh, that would only work with AJ Styles because he's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, saved his life.
Yeah, multiple times.
But anyway, we don't talk about that.
Okay, let's leave that one in the past, and we'll move on to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. I'm going to start this one off straight away by saying I hated this match. I hated it, and I know you don't agree, Nero. I know you do, Jay, and we've talked about this already. The reason I hate it, and I can talk about this a little bit more when we move down the card, And this goes back to my opinion of I don't like 20 finishes in a match. I don't like people being hit 50 times with kendo sticks in matches. I don't like people being hit with 20 chairs off. And this whole your arms are tied. Oh shit! Actually, they're not tied, but let's pretend they are. Listen, we need a plan B. If this goes wrong, we need a plan B. So
exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said to you the other night, wasn't it? And that's what ruined it for me. I thought there was too many mistakes. There was too many blatant and poor forms of communication, like Becky Lynch lying on the floor and then hand over and then just talking over. It just took away everything for me. And the difference between the six tag team match or whatever it was versus that is the choreography was executed perfectly in that match, and there was 12 people in the ring with God knows what around them. This was just a 1v1 with stuff around them, and I just thought they didn't execute it very well, and I think they dragged it on too long for that style of match. I mean, 1v1s
I said this to you.
a lot.
Yeah, I thought the match was 15 minutes longer than it needed to be.
Yeah, and I think like when you consider you're being whacked with a wrench and you're cable tied and being launched around, and you've not been able to use your upper body limbs for half of the match.
Yeah, and you've had a chair cracked over your upper body. You're on the floor pretending to see stars, but 20 seconds later you're diving off the top rope or whatever.
Yeah, it just doesn't make the right correlations for me. I think it had a lot of potential, and I like Lyra and I like Becky, but I just didn't think it was done well.
I agree. I think they're both very talented. I think it was the right call. I think the right person won the match. I don't think Bayley's interference had any impact whatsoever. I thought it was pointless. So I'm going to give that a 1.5 out of 5. I'm going to just jump in and get that out early. And then you can go ahead and do what you want to do.
I tell you what, I'll chuck my rating in then before you go, Nero. I'll chuck a 2, and that's where I was going to leave it.
So, match was boring as fuck. It was obvious all throughout. Oh, Lyra Valkyrie's got her hand tied. She goes under the ring, and all of a sudden, they're gone. You know, like that moment in South Park when he's at the bank. Oh, we're just moving over here, and it's gone. Well, where did it go? Again, yeah, I agree. Bayley's interference, no need. What's the point? I personally don't think Becky should have won it. She has been there. She has done it. She has held every title. She has held the Women's Championship on multiple occasions. Lyra Valkyrie is still new and fresh. So I don't think that it should have been Becky Lynch that won it. I do think Lyra Valkyrie should have won it.
But do you not think that there is the potential that Bayley and Becky now go after the Intercontinental and Lyra moves into Tiffany and that main title picture?
Right, I like Lyra Valkyrie, but I don't see her as a main event contender.
Okay.
Mid card, fair enough. Like she's got the charisma, she has got the skill on the good days.
I hate her entrance as well. Just gonna put that.
Oh yeah, I don't like the WrestleMania thing with the wings.
Yeah,
it was
I don't like it.
Okay.
Damien Priest does that.
Yeah, but Damien Priest is good.
Yeah, when you're the actor of Anarchy, you can do what you want.
Yeah. Personally, no, I don't think that Becky having the title will further push the feud between Becky and Bayley, because Becky and Bayley can have a feud without there being a championship whatsoever. They are. You look at it on the perspective of Triple H and Shawn Michaels. When they had their feud, there was no title on the line. But it was one of the best feuds I've seen for a while.
Yeah, you could talk about any feud with The Undertaker. Very rarely was a title involved.
Exactly. So with that, like Becky has her own strengths. Don't get me wrong, she is very, very skilled and very, very talented at what she does. And I know that she's in the new Happy Gilmore movie.
she's a bad guy in it.
Yeah, but I personally think Lyra Valkyrie should have won it.
I hear what you're saying. I do think there's an element of with the title being so fresh and so new, they need some previous top level champions to give it some prestige, and I think that's part of the reason.
Okay.
You can rightly or wrongly, I think that's their thinking.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from with it. Yeah, but I mean, my score will probably be about 1.5 out of 5, to be honest.
Okay, so far we're all agreed this was probably the worst match over the 2 nights.
I didn't watch it at all. I skipped the whole thing.
I wonder why you were so quiet.
So you did what I did with Tiffany
Yeah,
Shad.
I didn't. I just wanted to see the.
Yeah, and again, the issue I've got, and I don't want to harp on. I want to move on because the next match I've got things to say as well. But the issue that I've got is they had all the ingredients there to make the perfect cake, and they burnt the shit out of it. That's the issue.
I like that analogy. I like the analogy.
Cake or death? They chose death.
Yeah,
I love that analogy.
now we're going back to our roots.
There we go. Yeah.
Next match: Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Steel Cage. I'm going to leave this one open a little bit before I've got issues. I've got issues.
Again, it's another interference.
I've got an issue with that as well. The interference was always going to happen, and I think that's the one match you kind of go, okay, it's going to happen. The issue I've got is when the cage was kicked at the very end, both Fatu and Solo were hanging through the rope. They should have both been hit by the door. So why was Jacob knocked out and was Jacob knocked out and Solo still rolled out? Jacob covered his head.
So the way that I viewed it, I don't know if anyone else did it. The way that I viewed that is you saw the cage hit the head, but you saw Solo go limp and then fall out.
Nah,
maybe. I was just going to say
maybe I didn't say it that way.
Yeah, but because Solo was further out than Fatu, that's why that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was that far out, but I digress. Anyway, Solo won the match. I don't think it was the right call. Also, another, I think, a potential zip tie issue is the handcuffs.
Yeah,
you could see they were clearly joined together by a zip tie or something. And the mistake they made is when he broke it the first time, they didn't show it on camera, which I thought made more sense. When they showed the replay and tried to be smart asses, you could see the little tag fly off. And that ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like when Mark Henry was all those years
when he actually snapped it.
Yeah. Even though they used the wrong chain.
Yeah, what about when Kane came out? You know, when Kane came out and rips the door off the Hell in a Cell.
That was the original Hell in the Cell. That was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels
and Undertaker. Yeah, that was the first Hell in a Cell that was sturdy before they did the shit one that Mick Foley went through.
Well, there you go. As this is a bit of a theme, talking about handcuffs and then Lyra.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of that, I'll give you a good example of that. Gunther, cable tying Jay to the rope, watching him then destroy Jimmy. That was a good use of it. Jay couldn't get out of it. It had a reason. It had a reason. It had an outcome. It was used as a holy crap. He can't. It's a bit like Stag. This is well off topic, but playing a horror game in a game where you can't run, you can't hide, you can't defend yourself. It's scary. It's tense. It keeps you on edge. Yes. When I was watching Jay watch Jimmy get battered by Gunther, I was like, what would you can't do anything in that situation. Whereas with Jacob being tied up like that and then just whipping it off, for me, I was like, well, what was the point in
but the difference is, and I think it's a key factor, is Jay being tied to the rope added to the story. It wasn't the story, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The story was Jimmy being beaten to shit. Jay being tied up added to that story.
Exactly, yeah.
It broke him.
You know, whereas Lyra being tied up was the story, and it was a shit story.
So I mean, what I would say about that is I understand where they were coming from. They want to make Jacob Fatu look like the strong man. You know, he's the Samoan werewolf. You want to make them look strong. Didn't look strong though.
And I said that, and we must have talked so much over the last couple of weeks, and he went from taking finisher after finisher after finisher and jumping up to his feet to being thrown into the cage and being on the floor for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's And I think Fatu should have won. And I understand Solo won, the coward's way, and then Fatu laid waste to everybody, so he still has his, credibility and stuff. But I don't see where Solo goes with that title because they're trying to do a mid-card bloodline and it's terrible.
Can we all appreciate the moonsault?
Off the
Jacob Fatu, off the top of it.
Yeah.
That
Have some guts to do it, especially if, like they always say, the size matters.
Also, can we just? I'm going to take a second here just to credit WWE with actually putting platforms above the cage where people can stand.
Yeah,
little things like that. I think it's brilliant.
But yeah, no, like watching someone like Jacob Fatu do that was just a bit like, oh wow, okay. Because I mean, he was MLW, wasn't he? I watched Major League Wrestling. I watched a few of his matches when he was there. The guy is nimble as fuck.
It's quick.
He definitely rolled a natural 20 on dexterity.
Also, a future potential main event, and I'm talking 5 years down the line. But imagine Jacob Fatu, Bron Breakker.
Oh god!
Oh, that would be lovely.
So just one to keep an eye out for.
Rikishi versus Scott Steiner.
Exactly. But that goes back to another reason why everyone wanted Jay to win the title, because Rikishi had never done it.
I did it for The Rock.
That's right. You thong wearing Betty. So the
wait, we're cousins.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's do it then. Match ratings, Jay.
2.5.
I'd probably give it a 2.5 as well.
Yeah, I'm going to level out 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. 2.5. Just bang middle of the road. Wasn't great, wasn't bad.
No.
Whilst we're talking about all that bloodline and stuff, Zilla Fatu, is he going to be around anytime soon, do you think?
No. Yeah, that's the issue. I think Solo's bloodline's getting too big, if I'm honest. I don't think there's room for another.
No.
But again, looking at War Games, is that the moment Zilla comes in and helps helps Jimmy and Jacob? They need.
I was going to say he definitely wants in, doesn't he? So if the call comes and
yeah, we'll see.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Jimmy you can never have too many Samoans.
See, going off topic about that with Zilla Fatu. That would be a brilliant feud for him and Solo Sikoa. Because obviously Zilla Fatu is the son of Umaga,
but
the Samoan Spike. So it could be who owns the Samoan Spike.
You've also got to remember that him and Rikishi have got some real life beef as well at the minute.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, because Zilla wore the face paint.
Oh, right.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I remember something. No, it was the Jeff Hardy. Was it Jeff Hardy face paint?
Jeff Hardy face paint.
Yeah. I still don't understand why, but
don't know. But again, it adds another layer to that story. Who are you going to choose? The guy that stole your dad's move, or the guy that's saying don't wear his face paint, or whatever? There's potential there, but we'll see. Okay, let's move on. Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles. I'm just going to jump in very quickly and say I love Dominic Mysterio. I love Dirty Dom. I think he is set to become the greatest heel in the business. I think he's almost transcending it to the point where he's a heel, but he's loved, as you said, like an early Razor Ramon. I don't think he should have won that match. So I love Dom. I think he should have lost.
Yeah, but are you biased towards AJ?
Yeah, because I love AJ.
Fair enough. Yeah.
AJ Styles, for me, he goes on the Mount Rushmore. Forget he goes on the WWE Mount Rushmore. He is TNA Mount Rushmore.
Oh hell yes!
So I love Dom, but this goes, and I'm sorry, I'm getting too excited, so I'm starting to stammer a little bit. But the issue I've got, again, going back to 20 chair shots, 20 tables, 50 finishers. AJ got put to bed with a single shoe shot to the face. So
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of the night, it doesn't make sense. In terms of the match, I much prefer it that way. I love the all of the shout outs to Latino Heat. You know, love him. So AJ wearing the pants, the frog splash, which not the best move of the match, but yeah, it was great. I loved it, and I'll credit Dom to his reaction to seeing AJ wearing those pants and coming out in the lowrider with his son. You know, who by the way looked like a young Dom when he had his white hair and stuff. He looked like Dom in the custody match. You remember?
I think that was because it's the whole.
It was 20
AJ
years.
Styles is phenomenal. Everyone knows this. It's hence why it's called the phenomenal one. But it's not just about his wrestling ability. It's because he can play the game and he can play with the mindset. He can get into your mind and he can start really messing around with it.
Yeah, and I'm going to put this out there as well. I know we're talking solely about SummerSlam. I thought the build up to this match was perfect.
Yeah.
So, let me know your thought. I'm going to jump. I don't think it was as good as the TLC, so I'm going to go 3.5.
That's exactly what I've got down. I'm going to tell you why. I'll keep mine quite simple on this one. But this was the only match on the card which was just a standard 1-4. Am I right? I'm pretty sure it was just because everything else you had obviously the triple threat, then you had the six team tag match or whatever, then you had the Becky Lynch Lyra fight, then you had the cage match, and obviously you got the street fight at the end as well. So this was like just a proper wrestling match, and for that I really enjoyed it. Excuse me. And actually, I think it was very clever what they did with Dom, with his undoing his shoe and showing that on the replay, unlike the Lyra bit. I thought that was very clever. I think that adds something to Dom's character in terms of he's not as dumb as what people think. There's a smartness, there's a bit of in-ring intelligence there, and there's a bit of in-ring intelligence that was going to sway things slightly in his favour that isn't quite to the book. And I rated that aspect of it, and I put down 3.5 as well.
That was awesome. And also, that was also a shout out to Eddie Guerrero, who did the same thing in a match with Kurt Angle.
Oh, well, there you go. Genius.
So it was unbelievable. Yeah, really good.
I loved every aspect of that match. From the tributes to Rey Mysterio from Dom, the tribute to Eddie from AJ with the lowrider. It was spectacularly done, and it really spoke to the characters more than anything, in my opinion. Again, loved the whole boot aspect. Again, another tribute to Eddie. Can we talk about as well the chair?
I've changed my rating. It's a 4. The leg twitch was phenomenal.
Just because it was again a tribute to Eddie. Eddie would always bang the chair, throw it, the ref would turn around, and he's on the floor like that. But obviously, AJ does his research. We all know this. AJ Styles is AJ Styles. He's the best in the business as far as anything is concerned. And the fact that he just went, no, opened it up, put it around his neck, let it on the floor, and the twitch, it showed to the character, and it showed that AJ Styles is a smart wrestler. I just really enjoyed the match. I think Dom has now transcended, and I've said this to all of you before. He's transcended from being Rey Mysterio's son.
The best thing he ever did was turn heel. Best thing he ever did.
He is Dirty Dom Mysterio. There's no, it's just Rey Mysterio's kid. He's built himself up, and he has actually made a name for himself. That is a solid base. You say to any wrestling fan, what do you think of Dirty Dom? They're going to know who he is. But if you say, Dominic Mysterio, they're just going to be like, what? You mean Rey's kid?
Yeah, I think. I think, like I said, and just to sort of add to the point I was making, if they had kept him a face, he would have been trying to get out of Rey's shadow. By going heel, he's creating his own light, so there is no shadow.
Yeah.
So I would say it was a 4 out of 5, to be honest.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
It's the chair.
It's the leg twitch. Yeah, yeah, unbelievable.
But I also like the build up to that. When I don't know where AJ was at the time, but Dom in view of the referee, took that turnbuckle off. So he knew that he had the
Clever.
time for him to turn around, then get slapped the ring with the chair.
The one
then do the
thing,
fall.
yeah,
That was clever.
I want to play devil's advocate a little bit here. Just going from a realistic point of view, if we're doing this as a fight, the amount of time it took for Dom to hit the floor, to throw the chair, for AJ to put it on, for them both to lay down, Dom could have just actually hit it with the chair.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm just gonna say. But apart from that, yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah, I understand sort of like
that's what Eddie used to do.
Yeah.
Eddie did it. I tell you what, if you've not watched it, Eddie and Ray at Halloween Havoc '98, one of the best matches of all time. But also, there's a match where they're fighting. I think it is for the United States Championship. I want to say, where Eddie gets the belt and it sort of goes back and forth, and he's hiding the belt under him in his corner. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, just any Eddie and Ray match, they're always great. But specifically Halloween Havoc, WCW 1998. It's Ray's wearing he's Rey Mysterio Jr. back then, and he's wearing all the purple.
Eddie Guerrero comes out with his mullet.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so I'll give it a 4 as well because of just the build up to the match.
Okay.
It's Eddie.
I think your 4 sound right to me then, because obviously I don't get all of those references until you told me about it. So without that, it doesn't knock it up that little bit for me. But I can see why those little are they Easter eggs, I suppose.
Yeah.
Those little things. Like if you know them, then you're just going back down memory lane, and I can see why that makes it that little bit extra special. So I completely understand why you lot have gone 4. But yeah, my 3.5 I think is reflected on.
Just to go a little bit deeper into this, and I know obviously we've not got to Brock's comeback just yet, but the fact is that 20 years ago, Eddie Guerrero at SummerSlam beat Brock Lesnar for the undisputed title. That's when he won the title in 2005.
Yeah.
So Brock coming back also is kind of a tribute to Eddie.
Yeah,
right.
So just putting that out there. So there was a lot. It was good. Night 2 was.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. And also, Goldberg was in that match. He spears Brock.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go. It's just a little bit of a flash from the past for you. Let me just sprinkle my knowledge on this bitch.
Let me just slide that in.
Okay, let's move on to the main event, Street Fight. The undisputed. Oh, sorry, is he the last undisputed? He is undisputed. You know, the never seen 17, the last real champion, the greatest of all time, John Cena, taking on that bitch Cody Rhodes.
And it's not John Cena. It's
the American Nightmare.
It's not John Cena. It's John China.
John China. You got a big mouth, John China. Okay. In fact, I'll go last on this one. I've jumped ahead, so I'll go last. I'll let you 3 tell me what you thought.
I can't remember a lot of it, to be honest. I think the end interference just completely wiped my mind of the whole match because I was not expecting Brock to come back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start. How about we start with some highlight points? So, John Cena carrying Cody Rhodes coming up the ramp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I told you this, didn't I, Stag? I was mixed on that because a bit like when Reese said about Lyra goes under the ring, she comes back out and the tag's gone. It was a bit like that for me. So you're telling me they've gone under the ring. John's managed to get Cody into position where he can get him over his shoulder and then enough time to get on the elevator shaft and up. Now, that's the logistical error, or not an error, but that's the logistical problem I had with it. But in terms of the response it got, that would be amazing to see. That would be wicked to see in the arena, I imagine. But for me, it was a bit like, I'm not too sure how much that's.
I liked it as a moment, but what I would say is that typically they leave the ramp up once Cody comes up. So the fact they put it back down made it obvious it was going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
But it was awesome.
It was cool. It was cool.
The issue I've got with this match, and in this match, I understand it more. It made more sense. But did anybody count the finishers in that match?
Well, there was 7 just with that last 2 minutes. So.
We had the triple Crossroads. We had the Triple AA. We had the Avalanche AA. It takes something away from me personally. This match, I understand it because it was like the whole passing of the torch nonsense that they like to do every 5 years. But I'm just not a fan of it. I thought this was by far one of John Cena's best matches that he's had since he came back. I thought the match was, in terms of work ethic, it was brilliant. The sunset flip outside of the ring was awesome. Shout out to Wayne Buck.
I didn't expect that move. Especially out of John.
Yeah, he's done it before, but it's been a hot minute.
It's rare for him to do this.
I think it would have been. Do you know what? Again, I'm really sorry to Becky and Lyra Valkyria, but I actually feel like had their match not gone on for as long as it had, it wouldn't have eaten away at more of John and Cody. I feel like they took the light away from that a little bit by having a not too similar match prior to it in terms of how long it went on and the brutality of it.
Well, yeah.
So again, for me, it's just, and this is what you said to me the other night, Stag, was like, it's that correlation between getting absolutely battered, walloped by chairs, finisher, still being able to continue. It's a bit like, I would have rather had more wrestling like Gunther and CM Punk and less of that all over the place. I get why it was a street fight, and I get those aspects.
And don't get me wrong, there are elements, then there are times where it's good to kick out, like Stone Cold and The Rock at WrestleMania 17. I think it was like 3 rock bottoms Stone Cold kicked out of, and it made sense.
Yeah.
It made sense because they were gritty. They both desperately wanted the win. It just took it too far to a point where it takes away that, I'll say, reality in quote marks, because we know it's obviously predetermined. But
what?
Don't worry.
Yeah, but you're right. It's the frequency, isn't it? It's the frequency. It's how much that's used over the build-up.
It's the setting. Yeah, absolutely.
It's everything. It's the whole. Yeah, I agree with you.
And if that was the only match over the two, if that exact match was done as it was without CM Punk and Becky doing the exact same thing, it would have meant more. Because it was done, multiple times over 2 nights, it ruined it.
I agree. That said, I didn't expect the outcome.
No, I didn't expect the outcome. Admittedly, I thought Cena was going to take on the title. Yeah. I still think he might. I think they might make him 18 time. And then because they want to do a new title. Either that or Cody will give him the title, because when Cena was, and I'm showing my nerdy side here, but on the website, it said John Cena Undisputed Champion, and now that Cody's got the title, it says WWE Champion. So technically he is the last Undisputed Champion. There you go.
I enjoyed the whole thing, if I'm honest with you. Just seeing them rip the turnbuckle off as well.
Oh, when he unscrewed the bottom, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
You know me, I love Cody Rhodes. I think he is phenomenal. Like, he's not as good as AJ.
Yeah, let's not use that
word. But it's the story aspect for me. I absolutely adore it. Like, any wrestling fan, like, from the day, of Dusty Rhodes, and you.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Rhodes.
I love Dusty. Dustin Rhodes, go Dust.
Oh,
amazing! One of the best. Going to be a Hall of Famer without a doubt.
Today in AEW today, well, he's Ring of Honor, isn't he, at the moment?
He's Ring of Honor. He's Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah. Can't fault him. He's turned his life around so much since being there, and I respect that. But yeah, I just enjoyed the whole match, if I'm honest with you. The one problem I have with it is the whole Brock Lesnar thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was a surprise, but I feel like it was unnecessary.
I don't. Purely because I think the intention is to take John Cena out of the title picture, and him versus Brock is a main event without a title. We'll go back to talk about The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels or whatever before. I think it's a main event without a title, so they can focus on creating those title rivalries elsewhere. Yeah,
no, I get that, but I don't know. You John Cena had this really good match with Cody, and then Brock Lesnar just randomly appears. For what reason?
Well, I think, and again, kayfabe, but I think John Cena actually asked for Brock to be brought back and come back, so he wants one more match with Brock.
It's a farewell. The reason is because it's a farewell tour, isn't it? And they're going to try and cram as many of these kind of moments and bring them moments right back.
Yeah, and let's not forget, in terms of WWE, Brock Lesnar is terrifying.
Oh yeah.
When he came out, everyone had the same reaction, which was, "Oh shit!"
So I've just realised who they should have brought back as well for the farewell tour. Scott and Drakon and Jay won't remember it. They should have brought back B². So actually, Drakon will remember. Do you remember the Right to Censor? Stevie Richards, Paul Buchanan.
Ivory, was it?
Yeah. Well, Paul Buchanan is B².
Oh, the big bold fella.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, yeah. That's I only knew Steve Richards and Ivory.
Do you know who I wish they could bring back for his farewell tour? Kurt Angle. His first match.
But I've seen rumours. That's all.
I don't want them to. I don't want because it's not.
No, not to fight.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Kurt Angle's retired. He's
well, that's what I mean. It's not Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, I think, is genuinely one of the people that will just stay retired.
Good. I think it's good for his health, and I think it's good. His last match was done 2 years too late.
Yeah, and it was Baron Corbin.
But
I mean, I'd probably rate the match like I'd probably say a 4 out of 5.
It's a bit high.
Yeah, I went 3.5. I put it on a par with the Dom and AJ and the triple threat at the beginning. I put it on par with that in terms of my enjoyment of it all.
Yeah, but I'm biased because it's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
it was good though.
What did you say, TimeDrakon?
I think if Brock would have come out and that's how Cena lost his title, that would have been better than what it was.
Yeah.
Because that would have been, oh my God, he's back. Who's he going to go for? Because he's already had that one with Cody.
Well, that's the thing. I think he could have come out and he could have F5'd them both. Sorry. F5's Cody. Brock Lesnar's, John Cena. No, in fact, they can't do that because Cena's a face, so he wouldn't have wanted to win. Wouldn't have worked.
But no, they couldn't have done it with Cody because Brock turned around and actually gave his respect to Cody.
Yeah.
And if we all know Brock Lesnar like we know Brock Lesnar, he wouldn't have turned his back. Sorry, I will disagree with you on that one with the whole...
Maybe.
He shook his hand and actually basically passed the torch to Cody after Cody won.
3 times. Yeah, which I don't necessarily agree with. Different, but I don't think Cody should have won those matches. But you like him more than I do. I love Cody, but if it came down to him and AJ, I'd choose AJ every time.
Okay. Yeah, Brock is wild though, because my latest memory of Brock is him lifting the ring up with a forklift.
Yeah, it was awesome against Roman.
SummerSlam. That was SummerSlam.
Sorry. Yeah, the microphone throw as well with Roman Reigns just catches it
and winks. Yeah. God. Yeah, but that's the other thing now that Brock's back is where does Paul Heyman go? That's always a question when Brock's back.
Well.
So, but anyway,
bring him along.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it a 3.5. I agree, and the fact that it's the same. And this is me being biased slightly, but the fact that it's the same rating as Dom and AJ, when Dom and AJ was just a standard match, and this was a street fight that went on twice as long, and it's disappointing in some degree.
Yeah, I was going to say that about what Reese mentioned about the lower rope. I mean, had they done that, I know it was a street fight, and they all have to go around the arena and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I think if they spent less time doing that and more time with that stuff that's so unexpected, like removing the bottom rope, would have been so much better for me.
Yeah, I also think or they could have made it a false count anywhere match, which would have added more to it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do night 2 ratings out of 10 for the whole night.
8-5 for me.
Okay, pretty good.
I'd have said an 8-5 as well.
I'll go 8 only because the matches I enjoyed other than the one that I missed. With the ratings that you gave for that one, because of that one,
Yeah.
so I'd say 8. Is the TLC one pushed it all the way for me.
What did I give night 1? Did I give it a 6? I think I did.
Yeah. I think me and you
Yeah.
gave 6.
I'm gonna go 7.5 as well. I think that the Becky and Lyra match knocks it down a little bit for me.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
My one main gripe, like I said at the beginning, the TLC should have either been the main event or near the main event for night 1, or should have been further down in the card.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
should have or even first on night 2. It should have been the opening match.
No. So I reckon it should have been later, purely because then you get the true essence of the Wyatt 6 entrance.
Because it was dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was too early.
Yeah, I guess so.
Funny enough, Ez said that. Ez said this is a bit strange during the day for them.
Yeah.
And it was so like
an 8-year-old saying that, you know.
Yeah, and when you look back on like Bray Wyatt's entrances, what did they always do? Every fan had their phones out with the light on because it's the Fireflies.
Fireflies, yeah. Yeah. I think on the whole card there was 4 matches that I really, really enjoyed, and 2 that I could have lived without, you know. So
Yeah.
I think for that reason, and like I say, I think I've got a different level of enjoyment now because I'm sharing it with my daughter, and I think we both really enjoyed it, which is why I went for that. But I think over the 2 nights, 7.75 isn't a rating, so it's 7.58 over the whole course of SummerSlam in terms of my enjoyment of it all.
Yeah, which isn't bad. It's a good rating. But I think it sounds weird to say, but I think I'd have enjoyed it more if there was less matches. I think the Lyra Becky match could have gone completely. I think Cody and Cedar could probably been a little bit shorter. The TLC.
I mean, the way that I look at it is, you know, in a standard one-on-one match, the probability of winning is typically considered 50-50. Now, if you claim that you're a genetic freak and not normal, so his chances of winning was a one-on-one match are 75%.
He's a breed. He's not ever going to try. So I got a 66 and a 2/3 chance of winning.
Resulting in a nonsensical 141.6% chance of winning. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. That is love Steiner maths.
The most pathetic thing is you said that you know typically it's 50%, and I went, oh, I know where he's going.
I didn't.
I know where he's going. We are on the same wavelength. Right. Okay. So what did we come out with in the end? Night 1, we said 6.5 overall.
Yeah.
Night 2, was it an 8 overall? 7.5 from me, 7.5 from TimeDrakon, and 8.5 from you two.
I said 8.
8. Okay, so like 7.75 then.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. It was good, but could have been better.
Better than night 1, not perfect.
You know what? I never thought I'd ever say this, but the women's tag team really pulled through.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match.
The two single championships were meh, but the tag team was incredible.
Yeah, the triple threat was pretty good, apart from the ending.
Yeah, I think if they'd have gone down the route as they did at Evolution, which shocked me that Naomi came out and took the title, I think that'd have been a contender for the whole night as well. I think they'd have gone down the Evolution way that they did that. I think that might have just tipped the TLC match.
I find it strange to some degree to do, and I understand why they do it, but to do like an all women's pay-per-view, I find odd because they're part of the main roster. They should do shows with the main roster.
Yeah,
I think, and I understand this is what I'm trying to play the middle a little bit. I understand it gives them their spotlight and it gives them their and rightly so. They're brilliant. However, I think by giving them their own space, it creates divide. if that makes sense. By giving them their own show, it creates that divide between the main roster and the women's roster.
If they wanted to play it a certain way, one of the best ways they could have done it potentially is do an all-female SummerSlam and an all-male SummerSlam.
Well, yeah, that's the way to do it. It's night one is all the women, or night two is all the women, however they want to do it. But I also, who was it? Was it
the night? Because again, I think that would, like you said about that would divide them again.
It creates a divide, but you're sort of damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because by giving them their earned spotlight and their main events, you're going, oh well, I'll not me personally, but there will be people go, well, I'll just watch the men's. I'm only interested in watching the men's. It splits the audience as well. I don't like that.
Yeah. If you had a look at main event for the women on, like, say, night one, and then the main night for.
Well, they've done that before. Who was it? Was it Becky Lynch that main evented WrestleMania?
Yeah, Becky and Charlotte, I believe.
Oh.
I think it was Becky, Charlotte, Bailey, and
the 4 Horsewomen.
Sasha. Yeah.
I mean, there's a few women now that I could actually enjoy doing a main event. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer. All 3 of those for me are main eventers. I think I could watch them in a main event quite easily.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'd probably say Nia Jax thrown into the mix with that one.
I don't like Nia Jax.
I don't like Nia Jax, but she has. Yeah, she plays a good heel.
I don't like her because I think she injures too many people. I don't think she's a safe worker, which is why I don't like her.
Or Jade Cargill.
And I was just about to say, or Jade Cargill. Chuck Jade Cargill in
1,000%. I think. In fact, just before we end this, because we're approaching 2 hours, let's just talk quickly about Jade Cargill and Dominic Mysterio in terms of wrestling progression. Because even if we go back 3 or 4 months ago, they weren't the wrestlers they are now. So let's start with Dom. Dom, when he came through, he had his short hair and all his powers in his mullet. We know that.
Very clean.
Yeah, no mustache, didn't look the part at all. But when he started, I honestly thought, and I first to say I was wrong, but I thought, oh, he's there because he's Ray's kid. Like, what's he doing in the ring? He's terrible. And I'm not one of those that's naive enough to think he did no training before he got in the WWE. He obviously did. But from that person to the person that just wrestled AJ at SummerSlam, they're 2 different people to me. Because this guy, I see him being a top star. I think he's going to be incredible, and I'm a huge fan.
It's not only that match; it's the 4-way match that he had with Bron Breakker
when he won the title.
That pushed him as well.
Yeah, the segments he's had with Penta in the past, he's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
They need to do more with Penta.
Yeah, they do. Jade Cargill, we obviously, Reese and I, Nero and I, have got a little bit more experience seeing where she was before WWE, and I think it's fair to say she was lacking in areas. She's always looked the part, always looked brilliant.
But her matches in AEW were too boring.
No, she couldn't back it up in the ring. And what she's done since she came back, I think there's still areas that she can improve on, as everyone can, and she's clearly working on them. But I think she's brilliant.
Yeah, she's definitely found the right training, and she's definitely found like the more approachable way of actually performing. Like her physique is always from when I remember, her physique has always been rock solid. Basically, she's always had she's always had that sort of the look about her. That would have been an amazing dream match.
What, China?
Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, China.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that before.
That would be a triple threat.
How close to the X-Men is she going to get?
What, the Storm is coming,
yeah.
She's really close to Storm.
Yeah. Well, she did do a
Riyadh for Night of Champions.
Yeah.
Gold and white, I know.
Yeah.
It is so Stormy, isn't it? She will play Storm in the future X-Men match.
X-Men match. That'd be a good one. Dibs on Deadpool.
Get Wolverine in. They need a celebrity.
What's the next? What's the next?
Oh no, Hugh Jackman's already been in it.
Has he?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman's already made an appearance. Who was it? I can't remember now, but he has been on WWE TV.
Oh wow.
What's the next PLE? Is it
Clash in Paris?
Well, technically, it's
The Triple Mania.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Triple
Triple
A.
A. Where Dom
No.
is in the is it the 4-way with Grande Americano?
yeah,
and-
Dragon Lee and El Hijo de Vikingo.
It's Dom versus 3 different Grande Americanos.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I so love when they all come out dressed as Grande.
Ah.
Oh.
There's only one, mate.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of them on here that I've actually I actually know the names of, like El Messias. He's been wrestling for years. He was in TNA.
Yeah, but he's not.
He played Judas Messiah in TNA.
Wow.
Not as long as Grande.
Well, El Grande Americano.
Grande Americano.
The giant American. Or the giant black coffee.
I was.
But no,
I tell you
the
what.
card actually looks.
Let's just
pretty
talk about
solid.
one thing before I'm going to cut this off, okay? But I've got to mention Becky Lynch's promo against Nikki Bella on SmackDown. Was it SmackDown or was it Raw? I can't remember.
Raw.
Was it Raw?
Raw.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was, I don't know if it was written or if it was unscripted, but it was perfect. As bad
can't write that.
as bad as the match
There's no
was.
way you can do that.
But even the whole, oh, that used to be you, and oh no, you can't see him anymore. Oh, wow.
Watch it.
Bearing
I
in,
haven't seen it.
bearing in
Oh, you
mind,
got to.
oh,
It's a
it's
brilliant
unbelievable. But bearing in mind that John Cena's wife was in the front row at SummerSlam as well, just makes it even better for me.
Oh, I didn't know that. She even dissed Nikki that she was meant to be in Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, but it was cut.
You didn't get it because I got it.
Yeah, oh, it was such a, it was
And
good.
then she put out on Happy Gilmore 2
Oh.
showing on Netflix.
Oh. Oh dear.
Right, boys.
Uh,
I think that's where we're going to call it.
yeah.
But
It's a good
Lovely
place.
stuff.
that's a good place. I don't know what the next podcast is going to be about, but we'll find something to harp on about for a few hours, I'm sure.
More than likely. We always do.
We always do. Do you want to say bye-bye, James?
Goodbye.
Nero?
Ta-ta! Farewell.
TimeDrakon?
Good evening.
So long.